I'm going to use this under the Fair Use Act. Now, I want to show y'all what I did just yesterday. There's the time stamp on it, February the 7th, and see that it was me showing a picture of my hand on fire, but that it looks like fire and water. And for those of you who have followed me, you know that I was giving these, talking about this and giving prophecy months ago. And you can find that. You can find in those same videos, you'll see a picture of my hand that is on fire that also looks like it's water. A type of fire that looks like water also. So this was yesterday. This was my timestamp video yesterday. And let's see what Bullock did on his channel just today. Just today. Let's take a look at it. This was approximately 7 hours ago that he uploaded. Let's see that he was giving a lesson about Moses. He was talking about Moses and giving a lesson. Let's see what his lesson was.
But was not consumed. Was a fire that no bugs could land on. No, nothing could invade it. But yet he could have put his hand inside that and it wouldn't set his hand on fire. Wouldn't burn him. He said, this is a great sight. It's greater than anything I ever saw a magician do in Egypt. It's greater than anything that I've ever seen in Egypt. And I'm learned in all the ways of the Egyptian. He was groomed for the throne of Pharaoh. But nothing compared to this great sight. And he said, I'll turn aside and see this great sight. So he turned aside and he went up in front of the bush. And the Lord called to him from the bush, Moses. He said, here am I. And he said something to Moses, take off your shoes.
They can't resist it. They absolutely can't resist trying to steal prophecy from me. It drives them crazy. But I promise you, it gets even better than that. Gets much better. Pay attention. Watch this. I want you to watch his gestures as he discusses this. Same video from today.
A prophet recognized fire. Don't you see? The little bit of fire of revival that's in America and around the world and these other precious nations that are watching. God.
What's hilarious is he keeps looking at his hand, trying to do motions with his hand, as if he's waiting for the Lord to set his hand on fire, as if he can do this miracle. So continue to watch.
Formed the nations. In Isaiah 40, it says the nations were as a drop in the bucket of his scales. He already knew the nations. And he has a plan for all of them. They don't include this crap. But our prophets around the world are seeing what little bit of fire is left. And we're turning aside to see the great sight and trying to show it to.
So do you see, he kept throughout, I just give you snippets, he kept throughout his teaching doing that same hand motion as he's talking about the fire and the hands of fire. I guess he could be have a mental problem. He may truly think that God's going to give him this power that's going to set his hand on fire like mine, that he will be given this magical fire, because he continued to make these funny gestures as if his hand would ignite at any moment as he was teaching about fire, this fire, as I've already done so many times. But there's something more in here I want you to listen to.
The nations were as a drop in the bucket of his scales. He already knew the nations.
He was talking about the scales too, the drop in the bucket of scales. I wonder where that came from. Oh yeah, my video from January the 6th. How only one holds and can tip the scales. So see, he's been exposed once again as not a prophet of God, but a thief. And what is taught in Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 30. God is against the prophet that steals the words of another And little do they realize they're only setting God against them more and more each time they do this. God bless.